What do you say we take a look at this whiskey? And I have to apologize. So because Tyler wasn't going to make it in today, I had to stop on my way in and buy a whiskey. So that means that I have not had time to remove the cellophane or clear the neck of the whiskey.
What if I cut my hand on the plastic cellophane?
Well,
here?
I usually try to be, to be the concerned partner here, but. Well, it certainly made an interesting sound. I'll say that. I didn't know you could get that cool of a sound out of taking off the cellophane. Are you okay?
So far,
Okay.
no wounds, no issues.
All right.
A little bit of peeling fatigue
going
on, but I think I'm okay.
All right, and of course I didn't clear the neck of the bottle, so you're going to want to be careful opening that there's no spillage. Ooh, that was very well done, sir. Very well done.
That is fragrant. Oh, ha!
All right, you're going to have to offer us a little more explanation than that.
I got this big whiff of bubble gum.
Oh, really?
Yeah, bubblegum, like classic in with the baseball cards bubblegum.
Oh, very interesting. So, well, this is from Balcones.
And that is a flavor that happens in whiskey, by the way. That's actually pretty common.
This is Balcones, who have yet to make a bad whiskey. So, there's that.
You notice because you didn't clear the neck of the bottle.
Right? Did you?
I do have a little bit of spillage going on here.
All right. Well. I
might have heavy poured myself there.
Gee, what a surprise! I do get the bubble gum.
Bubblegum, definitely. Yeah. Bubblegum, vanilla.
A little bit of rose or something. What is it? That floral note.
Floral thing.
Yeah,
I'll agree. There's a cinnamony.
Yeah.
There's a.
It smells like it's got a lot going on, which is not surprising, given Balcones. So.
It does have kind of almost a rose petal kind of thing going on.
Yeah, I really got a sort of a rose hips or rose petal vibe. So this is a Texas whiskey. It's called ZZ Top Tres Hombres, and it's got the diagram of the guys on the front. Let me read you what it says. Some things just belong together. You combine influences because it just makes sense, and end up creating something new that feels like it has always been. ZZ Top combined blues and southern rock in an unprecedented and iconic way. Tres Hombres Texas whiskey is made of 3 Texas-grown grains, corn, barley, and rye, in the same spirit of honest exploration and synergy that has cemented ZZ Top's place in music history.
That is spicy, baby.
And it's signed by Jared Himstead, head distiller at Balcones Distilling in Waco, Texas. So you had a sip. Spicy, huh? So I talked about a spicy cigar. We have now a spicy whiskey. Let's see.
This is it's 50% by volume. And so it's a little overproof.
So it's got three distinct things that are combined here.
I love this picture of ZZ Top, by the way. The depiction of them on the front.
Yeah, it's really
fantastic.
Great. So what's your take on the whiskey? It is definitely spicy. Do you like it?
Spicy. I love, especially the nose on this. The nose is so interesting. You don't get the flavor of the bubblegum that you smell on the nose in the whiskey as much.
No, you really don't. But I do get the corn and the rye.
I get this huge, yes. So the corn is evident. The rye is the spice that you're tasting. And then there's that Texas mineral water is huge on this. They didn't try to even hide any of that.
And I'm glad they didn't. It really makes for a nice finish. And then after you get the mineral water, which you think is going to be the finish, you get this one more wash of the rye.
When I just put it to my nose and exclude my mouth from it, I get almost a snickerdoodle kind of thing going on. That's not. I'm not even joking about that.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. There's a little sweetness to it, but I wouldn't call this a real sweet whiskey.
No, it's a spicy whiskey for sure. What's your overall vibe? Do you like it?
I like it. This is interesting. It's very different from what I expected. I didn't well, I guess Billy Gibbons has kind of a reputation for being a little outside and liking things a little spicy and different. And this makes sense when you put it in that aspect. As a whiskey by itself, if you take the whole ZZ Top thing out of it, this is spicy and incredibly different. I bet this makes incredible cocktails because of how spicy and crazy it is.
Oh, right. I bet you're right. It would make
By itself, it's quite interesting. I'd like to try it with a piece of ice at some point, too. I bet that would open it up into very interesting channels.
I think you're right. You probably see those flavors open up and like stretch apart a little bit more.
Well, I bet some of those flavors that I get on the nose, as a matter of fact, when I spread this around my palate a little bit, I get there's a little bit of that snickerdoodle kind of sweetness to it. Mm-hmm. A little bit of bubblegum kind of flavor in the very, very background of it. There's a little maple syrup going on in there.
Wow. The IPA, to go back to it, and I don't often do IPA and whiskey together. Usually you go for like a darker beer if you do. But when you go back to the IPA, it changes the flavor profile of it completely.
Yeah, but you got a double IPA and you got a whiskey with a ton of rye flavor.
Right.
Is this...
Well,
I almost expect it to be called a high rye or something.
Well,
like
they do mention on here that they use 3 distillates. They use 3 Texas-grown grains: corn, barley, and rye. So think of it as 1/3.
It beats that double IPA down into like a hop water.
Yeah. It really just changes the profile of it completely.
Holy cow! I'm interested to go back now. This is fun. What does a bottle of this go for?
About $55.
I'd say worth it, just to have something cool and different in there.
Yeah, and not only do you have the ZZ Top connection, but this is a very different whiskey from anything else that's in my bar. I know that.
And this does not say rye whiskey, but I'm going to tell you, if you're not a fan of rye because of the spice, you're not going to be a fan of this whiskey. However, if you like the rye spice with a little bit different things going on, I think that's pretty fun.
I think it's worth it. I think it's awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to say I dig it.
It'd be questionable, I think, if you were saying $100. At $55, you get a cool bottle, and it's interesting and spicy. I bet that makes an entertaining old-fashioned.
Oh, I bet it's a great old-fashioned, yeah.
I mean,
because
just due to the
spice
character
is
that
gonna
it
come
has.
through. And the whiskey hug is so delayed. It's like you're getting a whiskey hug from a guy with a really long, full beard. That's what it's kind of like, you know? All right.